Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor about your, girl parts? Well, you've come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. Obstetrics and gynecology? She keeps it real. Pregnancy? She's been there, done that. Menopause? She'll get you through. Young or old, Dr. Angela's got you covered, girl. Now here's Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 313 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. It was absolutely gorgeous this weekend. Yesterday, i.e. Saturday, was brilliant. It was warm. It was like in the 70s. I spent the day just kind of hanging out. I mean, isn't that what most of us are doing these days, just kind of hanging out? But anyway, I took my dog for a couple of really long walks, and it was just really nice to be outside. I think my next endeavor is I'm going to plant some flowers, do some yard work. Every year I say that I'm going to do it, and then I ultimately end up paying my landscapers to do it. But this year I think I might actually do it. So certainly in this time of pandemic, a lot of people are getting reacquainted with themselves, spending a lot more alone time because of social distancing. I've gotten a ton, like scores of queries about masturbation. And certainly, masturbation is one of those things that's typically done solo, although it can be done in the company of others or in group settings. But most of the time when people think masturbation, they think of like alone time. And I got a really interesting query from Teen Vogue. Y'all know that I get queries from all over the place. And anyway, they reached out to me and they said, Dr. Angela, with so much alone time during the quarantine, people are looking at masturbation articles more than ever. So what are your thoughts on masturbation and stress relief? And I'm like, yeah, masturbation absolutely would and does help relieve stress. Masturbation, frankly, is an opportunity to kind of reconnect with yourself, specifically if you are masturbating solo. Alone time allows you to kind of clear your mind, exhale, so to speak, and it lends an opportunity to kind of rediscovering you. Exploring your body, mind, pleasures, are some of the benefits that masturbation affords you. A lot of times am just like completely blown away or amazed at the fear that I see women having with touching themselves. I'm like, those breasts, that vagina, that vulva, clitoris, hello, it belongs to you. It's yours. Masturbation, it lends itself to exploration, discovery. It lets you reconnect with yourself. It helps you to discover that which is pleasing to you. The act in and of itself, i.e. touching yourself, helps to, relieve stress because it relaxes muscles. It creates a feeling of happiness, euphoria, if you will. And certainly, associated with those feelings that we get from masturbating, you get good chemicals that are released with any sort of activity. I think that we've previously spoken on these, endorphins, oxytocin, decrease cortisol levels. So, for me, I always tell people masturbation is self-care. We're on this huge, kind of self-care kick. Self-care is like one of the most frequently used hashtags that you'll see. Everybody is into self-care. Well, self-care on yourself and, masturbate. Certainly taking care of self lends itself to less stress in life because you are better as a result of it. So certainly, masturbation, helps you to feel good. It helps you to relax. And all of these things also, lends to better sleep. And people that are getting adequate amounts of sleep and good quality sleep are certainly less stressed, which leads to much happier individuals. So interestingly enough, they asked some more questions, Teen Vogue did. And so they said, Dr. Angela, can you think of any health benefits of masturbation that might surprise our readers? And, happiness. I just said that, happiness, less stress and anxiety, which certainly, we know that anxiety and stress has really adverse effects on our mental and emotional well-being. Masturbation helps to release tension. helps us to exhale. It improves your mood. And, an added benefit, if you're one of these, people that need really an excuse beyond feeling good to masturbate, you need to have a reason other than happiness and joy and pleasure. Masturbation actually can help relieve menstrual cramps. So a lot of women who, suffer from really bad period cramps, I'm not saying to, leave the ibuprofen, Aleve, whatever it is that you use for your cramps on the nightstand, but I am telling you to, consider masturbation because it certainly is a benefit. It does help to relieve menstrual cramps. So, lastly, other benefits that I'd like to highlight, of masturbating, a couple of things. Masturbation certainly lends itself to you getting to know you, you spending time with yourself, learning what you like sexually, what feels good to you. Masturbation is very empowering. It lets you realize that happiness truly does and can lie within. Now, this, it becomes a really powerful piece in relationships where people are often looking to others as the core of their own happiness. And while that's not to say that relationships can't be fulfilling in their own right, true happiness starts with self and from within. So another plug for masturbation. It certainly does highlight that. In closing, what I'd like to say is don't be afraid to touch yourself. It's your body. It belongs to you. Explore it. Discover it. You'll be surprised what you might find, i.e. pleasure. And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope that you got something out of it. Hopefully I covered a topic that you were wondering about, but maybe were too embarrassed to ask about. If you don't know where to find me, you can find me at www.askdrangela.com. That's AskDrangela.com. There, you can follow me on all of my social media channels. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also sign up for my blog posts. You can sign up for the podcast, as well as my YouTube channel. Please send me emails with your queries. I'm getting scores of emails from all over the world. And certainly, I get a ton of queries from a lot of media as well. And, the emails, I am responding to a lot of them with a direct email, but some of them I'm actually featuring on the podcast. No worries, you are remaining completely anonymous, but I'm finding that we're getting so many queries. Some of them it's just easier to address on the podcast. So again, I'd like to thank you all so much for your continued support and all the love. And I'm going to leave you with this today from one of my favorite books, the Congratulations Graduate book. And these are words of wisdom that come from that. Make new friends, but cherish the old ones. Don't use time or words carelessly. Neither can be retrieved. Judge your success by the degree that you are enjoying peace, health, and love. Smile a lot. It costs nothing, yet is beyond priceless. I'm learning to smile a lot with my eyes these days as I'm wearing a mask in all of my patient encounters. So thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. I cannot wait to reconnect on episode 314 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Until next time, choose happiness. See you later.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or illness and does not and should not replace treatment from a medical professional.